So I've spent most of lockdown testing old clubs from my garage, and it has been fun and a bit different to do, but you can understand my excitement when some new gear arrived at my house. So this week we're checking out the Miura TC-201 irons. I mean, just look at them. This club is designed to give you the looks of a blade, but then to give you more of the forgiveness of a cavity back. Now I think in terms of aesthetics you can definitely see the blade styling. It's actually the same length as the Miura blade, and it also has a pretty thin top line. I think the aesthetic of the quite sharp, blunt lines on the back is really nice, and personally overall I would say I really do like the way these clubs look. Now I would say even though the blade length's the same as a blade, it looks very comfortable over the ball. I think having a slightly thicker top line does help you with that confidence. I think a big thing you notice straight away is the weighting and the feel of the club. Sometimes you get a club where the club head feels really heavy or it doesn't feel well balanced throughout. That's not the case with this at all, and I think Miura are a company that are very meticulous in making sure the weighting is really well done. Now, one of the big reasons I was so excited to try these irons is because they're renowned for their feel. Now that's just not through this set, that's throughout the Miura range. When you think of Miura, you think of great feeling golf clubs. Now, I'd never hit a Miura club before, so I wasn't really sure if it would live up to that expectation or not, and it definitely did. I would say the strikes on this just feel so pure when you catch it well. It almost has a really kind of soft feel off the face. That's not to say if you misstrike it, it's still going to feel good. I mean, if you get an off-centre strike, you definitely can feel it, but the quality of that really pure strike is just unbelievable. Now, I think if you're interested in this club, it's probably for the same reasons that I am. I really love the look of blades, I love the feel, and also the controllability and the performance of it, but I often feel that it's not forgiving enough, and for me personally, I need a bit more distance that one they can offer. Now, obviously this is promising kind of those good qualities, but giving you the extra forgiveness as well. So for me, I was really interested to see, one, how it would perform on distance, and two, how forgiving it was on kind of off-centre strikes. So first up for distance, I thought it would just be best to compare it against the clubs I've currently got in my bag. So I've compared these against the Callaway Apex Pro, it's the 19 version. I've got a very similar build up here, so I've got the steel fibre shaft in both. It's actually a stiff shaft in my clubs and a regular in the Miura, so that's the current difference in build up here, but pretty similar overall. So if we're purely looking at distance, with the Miura I was averaging at 156. Now a few of these shots was caught slightly heavy, so they only carried 152, whereas my best shot got all the way out at 162. Now I would say in terms of back to front dispersion I was pretty happy with that. Obviously the shorter shots were down to like my bad strike, but I was really impressed with those high end numbers, so 162. For me that's quite a big 6-iron shot, I wouldn't necessarily expect it to go that far. I've been more expecting kind of in the 155 mark, so for me some of those numbers were really impressive. Also what's impressive was the smash factor. Some of those shots I was getting 1.4 smash. I think of the 10 that I took the final average for distance of, 5 of them were over 1.39 on smash, so that's pretty impressive and pretty consistent as well. Now when we're comparing that to my current irons, so the Callaway Apex, my furthest shot on that was 157, so I was actually getting a bit more distance with the Miuras and also in a smaller package. As soon as I start seeing more distance with a club, I'm thinking, hang on, like what am I giving up here? Now I already know they look nice and they definitely feel good, so for me then it's kind of looking at the dispersion and controllability and seeing if I'm losing anything there for the distance that I've gained. Now I've actually managed to take these out on the course. Obviously the lockdown has been lifted a little bit, and I was really impressed with them out on the course as well. So the big standout for me was the controllability of this, not just even the direction but also the ball flight. The ball flight was solid and repeatable over and over again. So I had a split set of these to test, so I had all the even numbers. So for me the two biggest clubs that I've used the most out on the course would be the 8-iron and the 6-iron. And I think one of the things that's big and that you would notice the difference on is the ball flight and the way it comes off the club. Now there is progressive weighting in these, and this is just designed to move the CG in the shorter clubs compared to the longer clubs. So in those shorter clubs you don't really want that high balloon in flight, you want something that's a bit lower and more stable, but then the longer clubs you can always do with a bit extra height. And I did actually notice the difference in these. I could definitely tell in the 8-iron it was flying a bit lower than what I get in my normal set. So final thoughts on these clubs. I think it's clear to see they're a great looking club, and also the feel was really up there. I think obviously on off-centre strikes it's not going to feel as good, but for me I quite like that because it's feedback and knowing when you've struck it well and when you haven't. I think I was quite surprised on some of the distance numbers I got with these. I wasn't necessarily expecting to get extra distance, especially when you look at the club and it looks quite small and it doesn't necessarily look like that forgiving or like it's built for distance, so definitely on that front it did surprise me going a bit further than I thought it would. On terms of kind of on-course performance and workability, I was expecting this to perform well and it did. Out on the course I was really pleased with the shots I was hitting with it, the control that I had, and it's not just me who noticed this. When I was out testing these on the course, I was playing around with my boyfriend, and obviously he sees me test quite a lot of golf clubs and he was really impressed with the way I was hitting these. In fact, he was saying to me like, you need to put them straight into your golf bag, so it's not just me who knows kind of the difference in the shot quality. I think if you're someone who really values that kind of blade look but want a bit extra out of your performance, then this is definitely a club for you to look into. Right, that's all for this week. I hope you've liked this video. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you all again soon.